There's always people that tell you this might not be it for you. Go with the safe option. Coming out of the Netherlands, where basketball is just not a big sport, people were saying, stay in the Netherlands, and we're not sure if the States is the best option for you. But I was like, this is what I want to do. My college career began at Bradley University over in Peoria, Illinois. The reason I wanted to come to the States to play basketball kind of comes back to that little kid dream. You want to make the NBA.
Mast, the transfer from Bradley, left hand, pretty shot, pretty bucket.
Hey, Mast is a grown man. Anytime you spend 4 years in the Missouri Valley, you know what you're doing.
The main reason that I wanted to transfer was because I felt like after 4 years at Bradley, it was time for a new adventure, a new challenge.
You can sense that Mast just wants the ball in every possession.
When we talked in our offseason as a coaching staff, the biggest thing that we needed to add to our lineup was experience, toughness, leaders, and guys that brought it every day.
This all started last year. Fred Hoiberg certainly finding a different type of player, a tougher player, and I think that just with some of the personnel that they've put together, this is the best start that they've had in their Big Ten era.
I felt like I was ready for the big leagues and ready to compete against the likes of Zach Edey.
Mast, next left-hand finish.
He is such a tough guard for any big out on the perimeter.
Edey had 15 points, and that's a guy that's averaging well over 20. He just did a masterful job limiting and making things tough on him.
They have frustrated Edey, sent a lot of bodies his direction. Now Mast goes right by him for the easy deuce.
You didn't look at him as the reigning National Player of the Year. Rienk went in there treating him like he was just a regular Joe on the street.
Showing off the range and now going right at Zach Edey.
He's big, he's physical, but if he's physical, then you just got to push back.
And for the first time in 41 years, Nebraska knocks off the top-ranked team in the country, and they are storming the floor.
This team has shown it has the ability to beat anybody on any given night. To have a leader like Rienk, this team has the ability to do something special.
I grew up playing the sport that my parents played, called Korfball. It's kind of like basketball where you have two hoops. The hoops are 12 feet high. There's no backboards. There's halves, so you can't cross the midcourt line. So the one team has 4 players that try and score, and then the other team has 4 players that try and defend them. It becomes quite strategic. I grew up playing that until I was like 8 years old, and then I made the switch to basketball. I'd say a lot of aspects from Korfball kind of transitioned over in basketball. Just the feeling for the ball, knowing how to pass. In Korfball, it's such an important thing to be able to pass and put it on exactly on a hand. Growing up, I watched my hometown team, and I watched the NBA. Some of my heroes were Jason Durousseau. He actually played for Nebraska too, back in the day.
Left of the lane, dribbles in against Spain, hooks it out to Durousseau.
I was that little kid in the stands that was watching him. You have such a great environment back home with very dedicated fans that are always loud. So seeing that growing up as a kid, it was like, oh, I think I want to do this too. My family has visited me quite a bit while I've been in the States. They came for Christmas and New Year, so they were able to visit 2 games. As an international player, your parents and your friends from back home are all so far away, and with the time difference, it's sometimes hard to just talk to them when you need help. But luckily, the coaching staff understands that we're far away from home and is able to support that. They've been big time.
The great thing about our fan base is how supportive they are for all of our student athletes. And when you have an international player, to have a fan base that embraces you and supports you makes it a lot easier.
Aspen like it.
It's been great to see how they embraced me when I came over here, to feel that they care about you and want you to feel at home.